Hey guys, I believe there's a direct correlation with the books you read and the amount of money you make. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 9 books that you should read that will make a direct impact to the amount of money you make in your business, your career, or at the end of the day, in your bank account. Number 1, Small Business, Big Money by Honorable Akin Alabi. This is what I would call a real-life textbook to building a business in Nigeria. Number 2, The Real Profit by Shola Adeshakin. This book is basically what I would call a mini MBA for Nigerian businesses. In this book, it would show you how to do your business income, how to calculate your net margins, profit margins, all those numbers that always confuse us and things like that. The next book is called .com Secrets by a guy called Russell Brunson. Basically, this book is just going to show you how to create profitable sales funnels for any kind of business. Whether you run a tech startup, whether you run an e-commerce business, whether you run a physical store, whatever business you run, this book will teach you how to make money online with profitable sales funnels. Now, the fourth one is one of my favorite books, $100 Million Offers by Alex Omozi. This particular book, the key thing that I took away from this book, and you should take away when you read it, is how to create what Alex calls a grand slam offer. What constitutes a grand slam offer? How do you protect your customers when you create a grand slam offer? And how do you get your customers to never say no when they come, when they come in contact or become aware of your grand slam offer? That's what this book talks about. Even though it's made for a Western world, there are certain ways where you can navigate the information and fine-tune it to a Nigerian audience. If you want me to do a deep dive in this particular book and how I fine-tune it to a Nigerian audience, let me know in the comments and I'll work on that. The next one is the second book in this Alex Omozi $100 Million series, which is the $100 Million leads. All right. This particular book will teach you how to run your business on autopilot. And what I mean by that is, in every business, no matter what business it is, you need an offer and you need people to come and see that offer. So in the first book, Omozi talks about how to create your grand slam offer that would give you $100 million, right? In this next book, he talks about how to bring those people that would pay you the $100 million, the leads that are needed in your business, whether it's online or offline. He talks about it in this book. Number 6, Build to Sell by a guy called John Warrillow. If you are looking to also build a company that you want to sell, it could be a tech startup, it could be an e-commerce business, it could be a product business, it could be a service-based business, whatever it might be, you want to build it and sell it, make some millions, this is the book for you. I highly recommend this book. The next one is called The Millionaire Fast Lane by a guy called MJ DeMarco. This particular book just kind of shows me how people use the internet to make money even in their sleep. Right? This make money online culture. This book shows you how to actually make money online legally using the internet. The difference is, in today's day and time or day and age, AI has been introduced into the mix. So as you are reading this book, also read this book with the mindset of how you can also leverage AI in today's time. All right? Because that's the new in thing now. Back then, it was the internet, the .com era, things like that. We have AI. So as you're reading this book, always position your mind to also understand that, how do I leverage AI for these things? The next book is called Lean Startup by a guy called Eric Ries. This particular book changed my life. So when I was younger, I used to have this very bad habit. I used to procrastinate. The word is not procrastinate here, but I used to have this very bad habit where I would want to build a full-fledged business and have everything ready before I launched it. So for example, let's say I want to build an online store selling shoes. I will make sure that I have all the different type of shoes, all the different type of slippers, everything. I'll make sure I have content. I'll make sure I have pictures. I'll make sure I have models. I'll make sure I have customer reviews. I'll make sure I have everything before I launch that business. Then I'll go ahead to launch the business after putting all that effort, and nobody will come and patronize me. Maybe because the shoes are too expensive, or maybe because the content I put out looks dodgy. I've done all that work and there's nothing positive, or good results to show for it. I have nothing to show for it, like Burna Boy said, you go explain tire, no evidence, right? So this particular book taught me the MVP model, minimum viable product. It was this particular book that introduced me to the agile methodology, which I actually then went on to get my certification, my Scrum and product owner certification, and things like that. Guys, if you run a business, there are so many things that you are probably doing wrong right now because you are overthinking it. This book tells you what exactly to focus on, the real deal in your business, and then the fluff you should get rid of or not bother with. That's why I recommend this book. Now, the 9th one is called the E-Myth Revisited. This particular book, it took me 2 years to finish it. It was a difficult read, very difficult read. And it was a difficult read because in this book, it told me the truth. There are a lot of things that we do as entrepreneurs where we focus more on the things that we can brag about, the flashy things, all of that. This book focuses on things that brings impact. It focuses on things that bring value. It focuses on things that actually generate change, positive change. And in terms of the foundational key lessons of this book, you will learn about discipline. A lot of us don't like that word discipline. Let's call it spade a spade. We don't like the word discipline, but it's very important. Whether you are pursuing a career, or you're pursuing a business, discipline is important, guys. That's number one. The foundational key lessons is discipline. Number two, every entrepreneur has 3 key elements or key 3 departments that they must always be functioning in. Number one is the vision department or founder department or visionary department. As an entrepreneur, you are the visionary. You tilt and direct the company where it is going to. That is your job. As an entrepreneur, the next one is then being a manager. You must know how to manage people. This is where a lot of people do not like. You don't like confrontation. You don't like talking to people. You don't like telling people what to do. This one, in a way, again, I don't like being micromanaged. So naturally, I don't like micromanaging people. But I've learned the hard way. And this book also taught me that you have to micromanage people when you're trying to build a successful business, right? If you don't micromanage people, if you don't tell them what to do, if you don't manage them properly, you wouldn't help them and you wouldn't help your business, right? Now, it's not everybody you should micromanage. Let me put that caveat here. It's not everybody should micromanage, but you need to know how to manage people, right? And last but not least is you being a technical or how did you put it in this book again? Is it technical? Being a technical person, right? What that means is almost being a specialist in what your business does. I was talking to one of my mommies, and she was talking about the ingredients that people put in bread to make the bread, preservatives, and to make the bread last, and to make the bread more cheaper and more affordable. So they'll use this amount of flour with certain, I don't know whether they're chemicals or preservatives, so that the bread can yield this amount of produce. They can make this amount of bread in a day, right? Meanwhile, if they don't use that preservatives is bad for you. If they don't use that preservatives, they will only make this amount of bread. So because some people are trying to maximize profit, they make this amount. Now, the reason why she knows that is because she's become a technician, a technical person in her business. She's also managing people in that business and creating the visionary moves. She's creating the pathway, the roadmap, the blueprint where that business will go. This particular book shows you how to build these 3 key elements as an entrepreneur. That's why it's E-Myth Revisited. This is a book that, like I said, it was a difficult book to read because it told me the truth. I didn't want to hear it, but it told me the truth. Now, if you want to learn about the pains, the torture and the torment of running a business in Nigeria, and also the fun side about it, watch this video.